What is connection? Oh.
Welcome to the 90-day Connection to Union series. And what's interesting in this first video is we're going to stop. I'm going to put this video out to the public and then kind of give everybody an idea of what we're going to be working on here and starting with. Today we're going to start talking about what is connection.
It's a link to how you meet up with somebody to get narcotics.
That's what it said? Oh, that's called a drug connection.
Oh.
God help us all. Isn't that what the definition said? Not to be...
No, just like, you meet your boy outside. You got that connection? Yeah, I got it.
Oh, you got the hookup.
You got the hookup.
You got the hookup?
Yeah.
God, that's been since 1982. Since I used that kind of lingo.
Okay.
I don't know. But up until like 10 minutes ago when I saw myself on camera, I had this big 1982 thing going in my head.
Nice.
I had to
See what you
pat
did there.
down.
See what you
I
did
was
there.
like, whoa, I was reaching to the sky. I was trying to connect my hair with the gods.
Gods. I see how you can.
Yeah, so anyway, we're gonna talk today about what is connection. And for those of you who aren't a part of this series, after this video, actually after the middle of this video, because we're going to cut it off, and then we're going to reconnect it for the
group that
for
way.
the group members.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I got that all worked out in my head. We're going to see how that goes.
Yeah.
But then we're going to talk about once we get the good idea of what connection is and what it means in many different aspects. Then we're going to talk about understanding connection, and then understanding connection and why it's important in this journey.
Right.
In this journey, meaning, if you want to call it the twin flame journey, connection journey. Then we're going to move on to understanding connection to others and why it's important. So our connection to our family, our friends, our pets, our coworkers, our bosses. Why those are important, and they're actually an important part of your connection to your twin.
Not a lot of people talk about that.
And understanding the connection to your twin and how it's a little bit different. The connection to your twin is different than the connection you're going to have to your sister, your brother, your mother, your coworker, but it's also the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then we're going to talk about accepting connection and then allowing connection, two different things, and then being in connection. Being in connection. But today, we're going to talk about what is connection. What is it? And there are so many common misconceptions out there on connection and what it means and what it's supposed to mean.
What would you say the biggest one is?
I'm connected to my twin. Therefore, they should know what I'm going through. They should feel me. They should not be acting like this or treating me like this. They know how it feels.
So they should gets placed with I should.
I should, yes.
Okay.
If you look up the definition to connection, it's linked together.
Yes.
Or associated with.
Ooh. Association.
Yeah. Or the act of, or the state of connecting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you have to know what you're connecting in order to know what freaking connection is.
True.
Right?
Right.
So a lot of times we're like, oh, I'm so connected. Look, I'm connected to my son and my daughters in ways that I'm not connected to you, right? There was a part of, and you with your son, there was a part of our lives that we weren't a part of, right?
Right.
Yeah, when they were younger and we were, had them in our lives and we were raising them and they were younger, we didn't get to experience that with each other, right?
Yes.
But as we sort of came together, I still felt a connection with your son,
mm-hmm.
and even with his childhood somehow.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I felt connected. However, when I felt a connection to you, it was different than all the other connections that I had.
Would you say it was stronger?
It was weirder.
So Okay.
There's the reason I say weirder.
Okay. I'll bite. What was weirder about it?
Um, it came from a place of right here.
On the inside.
Yeah. Rather than a here. Okay? I'm connected to a lot of people in a lot of many different ways. Right? Obviously, where family's concerned, I have that inner connection too. I can't even sit here and lie and say that my connection with my family, my friends, and anybody else is goes as deep, because it doesn't. It's more superficial. It's almost on the even the connection with my mother, right? It's still surface. You know what I mean? The depth isn't there.
Okay.
And I'm sure that it's that way for a lot of people. Where the older you get too, the connection kind of fades, right? As we get older, our kids move out, they do their own things, right? We're still connected to them, right? We feel that connection, right? But there's a lot of surface things that come. There's inner hurt, there's inner things that come along with that. But when there's something going on with you, and the anything, if we happen to be in separation, or if there's a conflict or mean words or any of those things, there's a different core that it hits. Does that make sense? A deeper core.
Okay.
A deeper place of connection. Right?
Yes.
Even though you hadn't been there from birth, you had been there from birth.
Yes.
I don't know if that makes sense at all.
No, it makes perfect sense.
Connection is, to me, something that comes together. It's together. Together would be connection, right? That doesn't mean it has to be physically together.
Right. It just.
I'm connected to my sister in Alabama.
But it's like two energies linked.
But I don't see her.
Right.
Maybe, but once every 2 or 3 years, we don't have eye contact. But I'm still connected to her, right? But if you were to be in Alabama for longer than a week or two, the pain, or the pangs. Is that a word? P-A-N-G?
It could be.
Yeah.
Let's just keep that for this one. Yeah. Because it could be like up there with Standstill or a few other ones that, kind of just been thrown out there. And just
but that's there. That's there. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, knowing that all of that, the way that you explained it, the biggest thing that I think for what is connection to me has been the energy, the linked energy in between. The linked energy that somehow you're wondering, is it possible to be a human being and feel the energy on the inside and know that there is a direct link that is connected to another? Well, nature keeps saying that's the way it's always been. And we're kind of just been shown that it's a whole other different direction to this. I mean, this was here, of course, with the way that we looked at items that were on the planet before we got here. Magnets, right? Magnets, it doesn't even matter, like these two magnets here. If you were to take a piece of paper or anything and just kind of do something fun with it, like put something in between it, it's still going to stay together. But regardless of all the things that happen to you in your lifetime, there's going to be that point where you find somebody that kind of meets that. This connection kind of plays by these rules. It doesn't care what's in between it. It's still going to come together. But there can always be that one opposite side to it where you can get flipped around and you really be more resistant. This is still connected. Even though it doesn't look like it's connected, even though they're two opposites, if this one was to turn around, or if I was to turn this one around, they'd still come together.
How many do you have to turn around for them to come together?
One. You only have to turn one around for them to come together. And
We are
sometimes
gonna
it's hard to
we are
to
going to
see.
go through that in detail.
Yeah, and the interesting part of that is let's say that paper was still in here and a whole bunch of papers or debris or anything else. Even if that happens, even in the resistant thing, even when you turn around, that's still going to be in between you when you bring them together. And what happens is when those things bring you together, you keep finding ways to keep turning around, or it turns the other one around. But at some point, when you both turn around again, you both come back together. That to me is the simplest way to look at this connection. All connections, but this one particular connection has such great strength that there's no denying it. There's no turning it off. There's not an off and on switch for this. It actually looks at all the on and off switches you have in connection and makes you decide whether or not you want to keep those or not.
We are going to stop here because we have the rest of this video, and we're going to do that and put that in our group. We just kind of really wanted you to get sort of a taste of what we're doing in this series. It's called 90 Days of Connection. What is it called?
90 days.
90-day Connection to Union.
Yep.
And so what we're doing here is we're playing this video, and then we are going to we have a secret group on Facebook for just the people who are involved in this series, and we're going to be really taking a few days to discuss this particular video in detail. We're going to dissect it. We're going to get your questions answered on connection and make sure that you understand what general connection is before we move on to understanding it.
If we don't go over the nature of connection, you can't understand how we got here.
Right.
And I mean, this is just something that even if you didn't want to take the basics and look at the basics over again, or you're telling yourself you know the basics, well, you know the basics, but do you believe in the truth that nature provides? Because the truth is nature is going to provide this connection and actually create the connection. And then when the connection's actually at full energy, it's going to show up in everything that you're connected to along with it. So hopefully this is a good way to look at it. And if you're not going to be in the group, at least you've got a good place to start.
And we'll be right back if you are watching in the group.